close. You're in my personal space. Get over there. Welcome back. Got a new one for you today. This one's gonna be a little shorter. This is the new trend for a little while. My videos are gonna be a little shorter, a little more digestible. Okay? You know what? I'm gonna set a timer. No more than 10 minutes. Wow. Alright. You can have that. Okay. So, here's the thing. This is interesting. This is about a black lady that used to be extreme Democrat, very far left, supported, the trans stuff and all the fun stuff that, we hear and love to see, right? This is different. She actually realizes that something's wrong because she ends up having it happen to her. And I just have to say, I'm gonna go ahead and play the video, but I just have to say, okay? It's funny how people change their perspectives very quickly when they have to deal with the problem themselves, which is a common theme that we see with people who are very immature. They haven't quite experienced life yet. They haven't experienced living on their own or living in circumstances that are more dire, okay? Or more, having to be independent and deal with their own problems, okay? That's all like a rapper just now. But basically, that's what happens here. I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna play this and then I have a few things to say and we'll move on from there.
I believe I was owed reparations due to slavery. I believe that I couldn't be racist towards white people because I didn't have systemic power. I believed in Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, all that stuff. I believed in transgenderism, feminism, pretty much everything that was backwards. And now—
Did you say blackwards?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, backwards. I'm pretty sure it's a real term. I'll put it up here if it is, but that's funny that she said that. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, that was actually a Freudian slip, but yeah, backwards. And now I'm pretty much the opposite of everything. I'm not for the feminism, I'm not for the stuff, I'm not for Black Lives Matter or reparations.
What happened?
Well, I had a situation back in Chicago where I moved in an apartment and they originally told me I'd be assigned a roommate of the same gender to share a bathroom. They actually ended up assigning me a transgender as a roommate, and I only—
And see, I just want to point out, she's very young, okay? She's obviously early 20s, and this is what I mean. A lot of these people are extremely young. They haven't really experienced life the same way that a lot of other people have. They haven't gone through the hardships yet to understand that life doesn't work this way or that way or black and white, that things are more complex. And once you realize that, we're all having to be accountable to each other and that there must be accountability and that we have certain systems in place to help one another and to give accountability to each other, then you start to realize, you're like, oh, you know what, this actually isn't as bad as I thought it was, because people are incapable of being a certain way, and this thing here, this system, this law, or whatever it might be, or policy, is there in place to protect you from that, because not everyone is the same, okay? We'll get into that in another video, by the way, immigration and things like that, but for now, let's continue.
Found out it was a transgender because the toilet seat was being left up consistently. And when I reached out to my black housing manager, she told me they weren't allowed to discriminate and I could move down the hallway to another room if I had a problem. And when she used the word discriminate, it made me think about politics. So I started looking up just what in politics made it legal for a man to be in a woman's space. And all of a sudden I'm seeing all the evil, racist, Republican white people are the ones with common sense who don't want this weirdness going on. So I found myself voting for Trump.
And you became a wife at 23?
I did.
After being a feminist your whole life?
Did.
Okay.
Well, I used to believe I was owed reparations.
Okay. 23. There you go. We'll switch on. We'll tell them 1 to 1 and then we'll wrap it up. Wrap it up. Okay. So she's 23. That means I seen her at the time she was 20, 19, something like that. Did she say, am I being stupid? I don't know. Anyway, point being, she ended up, seeing that the Republicans and white people were actually racist, right? Here's the thing. I'm not Republican and I'm not Democrat, okay? There are certain things on both sides that are very reasonable. But once you start getting into this bullshit, this woke nonsense, that's when you lose me. Democrat, leftoid, whatever. It's a huge problem, all right? But I don't want to get into that too much. I just want to point out that what she's doing is completely normal. It's natural. Over time, most normal people start connecting the dots, especially if they're not rich or, some form of privileged, right? Which is, being born into money, being secluded from everyone and everything. There's a better term for that, which would be sheltered, right? People who are not sheltered, when they have to deal with reality and harsh reality, they come to these conclusions naturally. They should. And that's normal because you realize, again, about the systems and things in place that help protect you from people like that. to help protect your rights. Or, you're a woman, you're in a bathroom, you expect to see only other women. If a man walks in there and he doesn't give a fuck about you and he's being weird, that's a problem. You can call the police, get him out of there. He's a peeping Tom, whatever it might be, right? He's a weirdo. But when you're trans, it doesn't matter, okay? And that's a problem. And so over time, you realize these things. A lot of these actors and rich people like fucking Hassan and all these morons out there, they've been pampered their entire life. They were born with a silver spoon in their asshole. That's just how it is. So they don't understand that. They will never have to deal with this in their whole lifetime. So they push all that crap on other people to appear virtuous, to feel good about themselves, when in reality they're harming everyone around them. They're causing problems for everyone, all the normal people who have to actually go through this stuff and deal with it themselves. Okay? So anyway, point being, things are not black and white. Just because you vote for Trump doesn't mean you're a racist or a white supremacist or whatever, or Republican either. It could be that you're independent and you swung to do that so that you don't have to deal with Kamala Harris. So you don't have to deal with some of these nut jobs in office that are okay with, transgendering children, okay? Or, transgendering children's a huge one. It's terrible. That alone swung a lot of people, okay? That doesn't make them Republicans, and that doesn't really matter. Everyone has a reason to vote for something and, and agree and disagree with certain aspects, okay? Anyhow, I just wanted to point out that basically it's interesting in life, and a lot of these young people and so on, once they grow up and they get experience, things change. That's just the reality. So take your time, if you know what I mean. Don't always rush to damn one side or the other. You'd be surprised in the future. Things can change drastically for you. And while you may not agree with certain aspects of a politician, that's just the system we live in right now, unfortunately. Okay, and I say unfortunately because I do believe it can be done so much better. Okay, where it's not about left or right wing, it's just straight up about what you vote for, and the government's job is to organize. But it's going to require a new system, a complete overhaul. We can't have communism, we can't have socialism. These things don't quite work. There might be aspects of socialism that work or something like that. There might be certain aspects of capitalism and so on, these systems that can coalesce and come together, however you want to put it, come together and give us, a really good, the best aspects of those and create a brand new system. I don't know if that's a topic for another time. Point being, we can do better. And in the meantime, let's just try to do the best for each other and make the most informed decisions possible. Don't damn one or the other. It's insane. It's not helping anyone, and it's not going to change anything either, by the way. It won't change if the Democrats won the presidency, Kamala, whatever, or if Trump won, which he did. It doesn't matter, either or. It's just what happens, guys. It is what it is. We can't shit on each other all the time. We can't keep doing this, stepping on eggshells and screaming at each other. It's not going to work. I have more to say on this in the future. We'll get into this topic more. But right now is not the time. I just thought it was interesting. Anyway, I appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you next time.